What is up? Dirty South podcast. We are here. Ward Wrestling, Brant Parsons, Jason Fulmore. Boom.
Doctor.
Doctor, PhD of bracketology.
Hey, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yes, we got it, man. Well, what a crazy weekend. Uh, and we had a lot going on, and now we're back and state tournament coming up. Man, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, we could spend an awful lot of time, honestly, talking about what happened at regions. I think we're going to save that for the breakdown of the brackets as opposed to doing any kind of recap of the regions themselves. Otherwise, we will be here for 2 years instead of for 1 hour. That is the goal, 1 hour. Um, so we're going to jump right into 1A. If
I
you
don't know
guys
if
have
it's the
not
goal,
caught
it's
it,
the requirement.
it is the requirement, yes. Because I have to be on another call in an hour from now.
The good doctor.
So, uh, 1A, for those of you that don't know, we've done the girls. We're actually still prepping to do the 2A and 3A, but by the time you're seeing this, you probably will be able to click and look at any of these or whatever, unless you're one of the first ones out of the gate to get the ones that Dan drops. Um, but uh, but yeah, be sure to check it out. Girls, man, we had a bunch of fun talking about the girls. It's going to be an exciting weekend for the girls, and you know what? It's going to be an exciting weekend in 1A as well. So, let's begin the same way we started in with the girls in 1A, and that is, Brant, do you have
Oh boy, I
one?
knew you were gonna ask this.
Or you want me to shift it to Dan because he'll just pick one.
He can just pick one. I'm trying to send him a PDF right now too to help him out.
Oh, that would be
Daniel,
fantastic because I'm trying to
do you
pop
have
these open.
one? Do you have one bracket that you really, really like, or do you want me to do it?
You do it while I'm getting the PDF from him.
All right.
And it's the second email, just so you know. The first one was wrong.
My favorite bracket, or one of my favorite brackets, not the favorite bracket. And just so you guys know, we have been working, Brant and I have been working on previews, our own kind of way that we do the previews. And when when I mention rankings or whatever, they're obviously Brant's rankings that are on the brackets that we have in front of us. Brant has put together something special for his drop.
Yes.
Have you done any of the 1As or
I
no?
have not done any 1As
Okay, all
yet,
right. So
so
we
I
won't worry
can't
about it.
share.
It is annotated and it looks fantastic. We showed it on the girls, so if you are interested, that's what it'll look like. But my one of my favorite brackets is 126. And 126, you are talking top to bottom, just really just I mean the not just the top level talent, okay, which includes number one, Kellen Messina, right? Includes number two, Eric Perez from St. John Newman. It includes number three from McCullough, William Baker Harvey, which but it also includes like some absolutely fantastic first round potential, well, not potential, first round matchups. And it includes a little eighth grader in Case Gustafson who can go with anybody. I'm telling you, if you watch based upon his match against Messina in Region 4, Gustafson Gustafson can do it all. So what what do you see out of 126, Brant?
I I see I'm very thankful for uh the non-seeding
The
seeding that
bracket
came out in
gods.
this one, the bracket gods that put Eric Perez and William Harvey on the top bracket and left us Kellen Messina, the defending state champ, on the bottom bracket.
Yes.
My fourth pick would be Luca Zerka. He is right there on the other side of Kellen Messina, so it sets up a potential 1 through 4 semifinals, which does not happen often, but it did here. But I also know that this bracket could get a little dicey. just looking at the quad for Zerka, he opens up with a tough one. Dylan Lunsford in the first round. That's a 4 versus 6 as far as rankings. And then DJ Dunn possibly on the other side of that, in the quarterfinals. And as you brought up Gustafsson, Loudon Grooms from Lake Ware, 36-3 this year, senior on the other side of that in the first round match. I think stands out, and then I like anything close in my rankings to see how close my rankings are. And Jake Armisen and Chris Dominguez, Cardinal Gibbons and Avon Park. If one of them wants to kind of prove me wrong and get onto the podium, their first round match may go a ways to set that up. Um,
Oh, it'll be
and
huge if they're going to try to make a run on in this bracket to make the
yeah,
podium. Getting
just
that first win will
for
be
how
big
for how
because
that this bracket plays out, I think that's a key one. And then as far as I don't think we've seen Messina and Perez. I don't think they've wrestled this year. Um,
no, but Messina,
Harvey has wrestled Kellen twice, and it's
right?
been an ultimate tiebreaker both times. I
Yep.
watched one of their matches at state duels. I know Dan has seen both of their matches.
Was when was that Cradle Cancer? Maybe
I think it was a Cradle. No, because they had already
Who? I'm
happened
sorry, I
before
was reading
Cradle.
it. With who too?
Harvey and
Messina
Messina.
Harvey. Where was the
Oh
first
yeah,
one?
the first one was at
Braves.
Braves International, Braves
Eh,
International, Braves Invitational, and the second
yes.
one was at Colby, and they
Yes.
both went to overtime.
Yep. Both went to ultimate tiebreaker, like
Both went to
all the way
ultimate
through.
tiebreaker, and both of them, Messina had the call, so
Yes. He got the first
he
point, so
he
he
was
got
on
to.
bottom and ultimate tiebreaker and escaped and won.
So I mean, but he has to get through Perez to even get there. So I think all three are um, engaging to watch. You also had, like what we mentioned, Zerka, state placer last year. Leonardo Torres, which I don't think we've brought up from Stanton, senior
No,
state placer
Placer.
last year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's depth on here, and just as a quick look, it looks like 9 to 10 are state returning state qualifiers. So there's experience here. The lights shouldn't play a factor in this weight class. It's gonna be a fun one.
I think where I think, yeah, I mean, look, don't let the 10 loss thing on Zerka fool you. I mean, he gets to wrestle everywhere. He gets to wrestle everybody. He's down in the South Florida area. Wrestles tough kids all the time. And Dylan Lunsford
And
coming
he's
in.
one. And just to mention, his loss to Kellen was 1-0. His loss to Harvey was a sudden victory, and his loss to Perez 8-5 before losing to him again in the district and
Yeah.
regions.
We know how tough Lunsford can be. Only two losses on the season. But you guys keep telling me you got to be a matter of fact. You're not going to upset anybody. They understand. So I'm going to say it's going to be Messina Zerka. It's going to be Harvey Perez, and it's going to fall where they may.
Was he making fun of you or me?
I don't know which of us are saying that.
So you want me to be a matter of fact? I hope everybody else proves me wrong. But when I look at this bracket, the four that jump out to me are those four.
All right.
I
Well,
have a
I
weight
love it.
class.
That was my pick is the bracket to watch 126 top to bottom. I think because of how close everyone is, a defending state champion in the bracket. This is actually going to be a lot of fun. A
Well,
lot of fun to watch.
in my opinion, you just go one weight up to 132.
I was gonna say you can
All
have that
right.
one. That was the one I was gonna pick. But
Oh,
we'll do
you go ahead.
132.
You go ahead.
We'll do 132 and I'll pick another one. Let's talk 132.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at it and I'm going, there's people
Yeah.
running on the
So
top line that could win this fucking thing. I mean, it's crazy. There's
it
people.
really is because I'll be honest with you. No, our number one or Brandt's number one, Keegan Messina is down on the bottom line. He is unbeaten on the season. Absolutely fantastic. Top line. Man, I tell you what, unbeaten on the season. Florida Highs, Jasper Kroom has looked unbelievable. Um, you've got Naguib in there who from St. John Newman, who man, that kid is a fantastic
That match
freshman.
right there is one of my matches of the tournament to watch. Matthias
Kroom versus
versus,
Naguib.
no, Nagib versus Matthias.
Matthias. Okay.
Matthias is a young man that, as a youth wrestler, he won everything in the country he went to. He came into his freshman year,
He,
unfortunately, with a
he got
terrible
hurt right
injury,
before the season
and
started,
he
right?
got hurt, and he was out his freshman year. Coming into this season, he got hurt opening match at the 1A Invitational, and he was out a few weeks. Um, he's looked 80% when I saw him at Colby, and at 80%, he made a good run. He lost twice to, I believe it was Austin. In that, he lost to him, I believe, on the front side, and then lost to him on the back side. But he is a young man
Tough
that,
losses.
yeah, but he's a young man that Naguib is not going to have an easy shot there, and that's a match that is one that everybody should watch because both those kids
Did
bring
they
fireworks.
did have they seen each other?
I don't think they saw each other, but they're a ninth and 10th grader in our state that are two of the best kids to keep an eye on and put on your watch list. And we get to see them go at it first round. Would you agree, Brant?
Oh, I mean, that's a first round match to watch. I'm just looking to see if they met. I don't have any notes of them meeting this year. I think that one is a really fun one to watch. The thing that intrigues me, only because of people that are in my ear, is I have people, or at least one person, telling me that they think Castanon is the one to beat here. And I'm like, well, Messina just beat him, but he's that good. So,
Well, and he just beat him barely,
yeah,
right?
barely. So, I mean, he's in the battle. Kroom, we've seen him wrestle anyone anywhere for the past 9 months. Like the moment
Listen, I,
last
I
state
Including
tournament,
college kids.
I
like
would pay money and buy tickets to see Castanone Croom. So if that's going to happen in the
well,
semifinals,
it could happen in the
please
semis.
message me in the room and I'm going there to watch it because those are two of the best kids pound for pound in our state, and I'm excited to watch it. And meanwhile, you have Keegan Messina, who is clearly one of the pound for pound
Yes.
best in our state.
And
And,
Castanon and Messina both state champs last year.
Right.
Castanon from 106 to 132 has actually seems to have handled the weight. Sometimes those 106, if they grow too fast and get into those middleweights, you can see a little bit of struggle. He doesn't seem to have that issue. But the thing that has stuck out with me with Crew, and he finished fifth last year, was the noticeable difference from the state tournament to when we saw him. We got to see him at Super 32 early entry. And one of the probably largest jumps to me. Went from
Yeah.
a very good state placer to one of the guys to beat in this state. And he just happens to be in a weight class with two other state champs.
and
Just
you know what? Right off the
crazy.
rip, the little seventh grader isn't going to walk in and lay down for him. That little
Oh, and
seventh
Christian
grader,
Day in the first round. Yeah.
I mean, he's a tough guy. He's a tough kid. Is
We've got a Zerka in this weight class.
You
This is a
got
good weight class.
another Zerka. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go through this list. Yeah. I mean, I think if people were picking Castellón as a favorite and people are picking Messina as a favorite and people are picking Kroom as a favorite, I mean, could you argue with all three of those people? I mean, I don't think you could. I mean, those are three guys. And then you have a Zerka come in, another Zerka who's three losses on the year. And that's the one that I saw wrestle out of his mind at the Colby and win the thing.
Hmm.
That's Bakim, right? Bakim. Yep.
And if
That's
you believe in my rankings, 5 of the top 7 are in that top half of this bracket.
That is right. With some great matchups right in the freaking opening round.
right. Yeah.
All
So
right,
All
so I
right.
know we're on a
all
time
that.
crunch. Let
Yeah.
me jump to mine. 175. And the reason this stands out to me is because I don't have any effing clue how this is going to end up. I can't even I should go back and see how many different number ones I've had in this, and they've all been worthy number ones.
Achoo! Sorry.
Go you have just going in the number order heading into this weekend. Jordan Hagler, Florida High, Bennett Schweitzer, Bishop Verot, Jacob Bacon, Aubrey Rogers, Angel Prieto, Bishop Moore, Bear Siegel, North Bay Haven. 5 guys right there. Jonathan Motor, St. John Newman. 6 guys. And I'll throw in Brandon Simons too, or Simmons out of Carroll City. 6, 7 guys right there that if I told you that was my pick for the win, you'd be like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
I Angel's dad texted me with all seven of those names and said, "Can you believe this bracket? Any one of these guys can win it."
Yeah. It is unbelievable. You have a quarterfinal lineup that could be Hagler versus Bacon, Motor versus Prieto, Schweitzer versus Siegel, and then Kazi versus Simmons down at the bottom. I mean, insane. And because it's so, any of these guys can beat anybody on any given day because they're doing that right now. If you
That's
look
right.
at, like, they've all beat each other, they've all lost to each other. It is just wild. I mean, Jonathan Motor, 4-time state finalist, and I am coming in here ranked 6 because he was third in his in his region.
Well, and Bear Siegel beat him at Colby.
Yeah,
It is
it's wild,
it's a
and
fun
Siegel
weight.
beat Hagler, and Hagler beat Siegel. I mean, it is
And
wild.
then Bacon beat Motor, then Motor beat. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we talked a little we talked a little bit about that at the girls and and about this weight too,
so
Yeah,
where
is this
can
one
he make it
Yahtzee?
happen?
Is this one Yahtzee?
Yeah,
this is
man, this is
truly Yahtzee.
awesome. All right, so let's jump back to the little guys at 100 pounds, and
100.
you know,
106. I
oh,
do
I'm
that
sorry,
too
100,
when I move
106.
from girls writing to
I
boys. The
know,
first time I
girls.
do it, I'm
In
always
fact, I'm
on.
still working on the girls.
Yeah, I always call 106 100 the first time.
106. We have up top your top two ranked by Brant, Jed Johnson, returning state placer from Cocoa Beach, Thiago Finoff. Is that how I
Hmm.
say it?
Yep.
Okay.
Enough's enough.
Liberty. Liberty County. Those are your top two up top. Down below, you've got Ryan Rojo from Miami Christian, Grayson McDonald from St. John Newman. You got Corbin Helm from Hernando down in there. He's number third, or is ranked number three. But the thing that stands out to me is this, and that is three seniors
Hmm.
and five middle schoolers.
Yes.
Okay, including number one, number what, four. You got Jason Goff in there, Florida Christian. You
Miami
know,
Christian.
yeah.
No, it's
Um,
not Miami Christian. It's Florida
Florida.
Christian.
He's at Florida Christian, I think.
Yes, he's at
Ryan Rojo.
no Jason
No,
Goff.
no,
Oh,
no.
Jason
Jason
Goff.
Goff.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Florida Christian. I thought you said Ryan Rojo.
Rojo's at Miami Christian.
Yes.
But both of them were seventh graders.
Yes.
Seventh graders.
I was looking at the 7 on next.
What do we
year's
see
name.
at six?
You want me to go?
Yeah, go.
First of all, as we go through these brackets, we're going to see a lot of kids that have been brought up through the Mr. Tovar's coaching staff. A Ryan Rojo there, a Castanone we just talked about, and Gonzalez, and I can go through the ranks. Shout out to this guy for all these little kids that he's been coaching for all these years. And now we're starting to see him on the big stage, man. Shout out to what he's doing down there. So, Mr. Tovar, congratulations. Your kids are starting to shine. But here, the match that intrigues me is Jet Johnson, Jason Goff quarterfinal match. Um, Jason Goff is a tough kid. He trains a lot. Jet Johnson is, in my opinion, the person to beat in this bracket. But that's just a match that Jet Johnson needs to show up for because Jason Goff is coached well. Um,
By
because
Jason Goff.
by Jason Goff at Concrete Club, where they've had, you know, Coach Balmacita's been in there. You see Pat Lugo in there all the time. And the kid gets to have a lot of good drill partners. And Jet Johnson obviously comes out of the top 1A or one of the top three 1A programs in the state right now, and is coached very well by Chris. But that's a one that I would say if I was Chris, I would tell Jet Johnson, don't look past Jason Goff. Could Jet Johnson easily go in and pin him in the fur and that's that? That could happen, right? But Jason Goff is good enough to where he's going to know how to try to slow the match down, how to try to attack when he can. That's the one that intrigues me in this whole thing.
So, Brant, before you go, Jason Goff is Jason Goff's son. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, just a little throwback to the early 1990s. Um, I had Jason Goff's dad drive up in his RV and pick me up on our way up to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, where Jason was wrestling and a number of other Florida kids were wrestling. And I think we slept in that RV for the weekend up there. And Jason, I think, was just a little bit older than this Jason Goff, way back in 1994 or so, about that point in time, 1995. Anyway, my point is that you begin to see Case Gustafson, Jason Goff. You begin to see these different names over and over and over again from individuals who have competed throughout history in Florida. So anyway, That was just a little side note, a little
Yeah.
story that I wanted to share
And
because
this is nothing, obviously Jet is tremendous and Jet is the favorite, but that's just one of those matches that I would say if I
he
was
is
Jet's
the favorite.
coach, I would say that's the one match I would tell him not to look past.
Brent?
Oh man, this has been a weight class. Uh, it's been tough to get a handle on all season. Um, Jet Johnson missed a couple weeks. He's back. He's the one returning state placer. Uh, Finuff and Bakar out of Bishop Kenny are the only two returners that have wrestled in a state tournament before. It's just a bunch of young kids. I know there are the two other seniors. I don't um, foresee them doing a ton here beyond Finuff, but this is the I mean 1A 106 is a young man's game, and any of these kids could win. And as someone who has five kids, and I know you've raised kids before I did, um, I don't know if you remember seventh and eighth grade. It's a volatile year. My eighth grade daughter right now is the hardest one we have to deal with, and I know these kids are on different levels athletically, and the dedication and maturity they have uh, supersedes most kids that are seventh and eighth graders. But that's a tough age,
Yeah, it
and
is.
who knows what happens when they get here? If they wrestle how they could, they this whole podium could be filled with middle schoolers. We can't kind of predict that though. Um, so I don't have a real complete feel on this. Tiago Finuff is a great story. I'm hoping to talk to him on Thursday and write a little bit about him. Um, just a peek ahead. He's a kid as a freshman, didn't win a single match. He's one of the favorites now as a senior to win. One of those kids that you're feeding a whole bunch of food right when he's a freshman, so he can make the minimum. Um, but yeah, this weight class, whew,
Yeah, look,
uh,
Corbin Helm is no slouch, that ninth grader down there. Him and
at
Robo
Hernando, yeah.
have a chance of going to war there. I mean, it's but that one
So
there's
I want to take just a second, really quick, because we don't have much time. But I just want to throw out a few names, okay? Okay, so Joey Silva,
Hmm.
and Ethan Rivera, a Giovanni Tovar, a Christian Fretwell, a Kyle Nordstrom, a Mark Anthony McGowan, a Sebastian De Janeiro. These are all individuals who won 1A
Did
106.
De Janeiro win the 1A
1A
106?
106.
yeah, he won four straight state
Yeah,
titles.
but that was at
2022.
Jensen Beach. I didn't realize he wrestled
Jensen Beach was
before
one of
his
the first,
freshman
right?
year. Oh, you're
Nick,
saying he just won. I thought you were saying I thought
I
those
no,
were
I'm not
middle
saying
schoolers.
they were middle schoolers. I'm saying that
Ah,
they
okay.
all won 1A
Okay.
106.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Nick
right. You're right.
Bozakis, right? So you are looking
And that's
for
Ohio
the
State,
next.
Princeton, Oklahoma State. We could go
Yes.
down the
That's
line, right?
right. That's right. You're looking for the next studs. That happens in
They start here.
108,
Yeah.
1A 106. It also happens in 1A 113, where we have an absolute hammer in Bryce Fiore. Um, Got to be one of the best seventh graders in the entire country.
Can you
I've watched him
imagine?
wrestle Keegan Bassett.
I didn't know if Solis was a seventh grader that is this much of a favorite to win a state title. Like,
Who?
I'm trying to think if there's anyone other than Fiore as a seventh grader that was
Oh,
this much of a favorite. Like Giovanni won as a seventh grader.
that's right.
Um, we've
I
had a
don't.
handful of other
I
ones, but
don't
I don't
know.
know that he was a super favorite like what we have here. We have with
Did
Bryce is just on another level.
I mean, maybe Fox Baldwin back in the day. I
yeah,
don't
I was
know.
gonna say was
Nah, not in a seventh grader. He was. I think he was a finalist that year. But he was not like an overwhelming favorite to where you're like, man, I don't
I
know. I don't
think
know if anyone here.
Nick Busakis probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to remember
113.
back to the seventh grade if he was like a super favorite then or if he was just bursting onto the scene.
And the best part about this, okay, I just made a case for 106. The best part about 113, number two ranked Asher Cabral I'm not sure how to say it, from Cocoa Beach, seventh grader.
Yeah.
Adrian Rojas from
Another
Miami
Miami
Christian,
Christian.
number three ranked, seventh grader. Okay. Then you get Andres Garcia for the
I
fourth.
watched Asher Cabral wrestle Bryce Fiore I think it was Colby. Maybe it was Colby that I watched those two wrestle. It was somewhere in a finals match or semifinals match, and it was a fantastic match. I mean, Asher Cabral did not lay down for Bryce.
Say
Bryce had
Fury beat him 8-3 when they met.
Bryce had to work to get that win, but Asher Cabral wrestled him tough.
I believe it, man. This is fun. You want to know, you want to look ahead to what Florida, who will be dominating in the future. It is on display this weekend. These young jokers are they're extremely talented, extremely tough. 1A 113 is a showcase for that. There are still others in the group who will push them. There's no doubt about it. But man, Fiore is
He's
definitely
something.
on another level.
He is definitely on another level. And I think if you were going to say a big favorite, I think people would say he's a big favorite. I just
I would allow that.
I know watching
All
you
right,
know the
moving to
thing is
120. One of the best weights around. We've got number one, Koa Deloach from North Bay Haven. Maybe there's a debate about whether he should be number one ranked or not. I don't know, because number two is Benito Barnhart, returning state runner up. St. John Newman, only one loss on the year.
and that
Barnhart
was
lost to Quavius Mills in the knockout semis.
right outside of the state. Last week he was in districts he had a forfeit in the finals. So I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if that one loss is due to Florida forfeit in the finals or if that was
Those are medical forfeit. Those
the,
usually don't count
okay.
against you
So the loss,
against your
yeah,
record.
to
I mean,
the
Barnhart
Mills.
was one all year. I think the reason that he's not might just been because he missed so much time, and Deloach had a
Hmm.
couple of big wins in there. So I think that's kind of
And
moved. But yeah,
Deloach did have some big wins.
you have Barnhart, who was a finalist last year at 106. Deloach placed third at 113. He's a senior. It's really heads, either one. I think if you put at that top spot, nobody would argue against you. Um, it's
And
just
you
for
got
right now, at least I have them at in that order. But Barnhart was one most of the year before he was out after.
there's a kid that's been starting to come into his own, and Jake Margolis that wasn't wrestling for a little bit and was back wrestling. And when he was wrestling, he was one of the best in the state, and he's been slowly getting better. If he hits his stride at the right time, he's somebody that could be dangerous.
Yeah,
He could
and his
be. I will say that quarter with Everett Stevens, though.
yeah.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
agree.
Stevens is tough.
I agree. I agree. I agree a lot.
And if we're going to talk at Margolis, we got to talk about his one loss this year to Anthony Aquafreda,
Yep.
who's on that bottom half, another young Cocoa Beach wrestler. Cocoa Beach probably has three or four guys in the backups for these first three weights that could have qualified here. They're just really young and strong at the bottom end. But Aquafreda has a collection of wins also this year that puts him in the mix. And all four of those guys, talk about Deloach, Barnhart, Aquafreda, and Stevens, they're all returning state placers from a year ago. And Everett Stevens has placed twice. So
Hmm.
these are wrestlers who have been there. And I should also throw in Schweitzer because uh,
Yep.
he's a returning state placer also. But we're starting to get into the experience now at 120 where they're still young, but they have, well, Deloach is senior, but you have guys that are still younger on they'll still be back, but they have that experience now of being here, performing here, and succeeding here. And I think that adds to the excitement of it because you've got guys that you can kind of expect they're going to be given the best effort because they know how to do it at the state tournament.
Well, and another thing to consider at 120, but you'll see it throughout, is the team race. Matter
Yes.
Lakes is definitely kind of, I mean, maybe a little bit in the driver's seat, but if Aquafreda can figure out a way to get to the finals and get those points or win or whatever the case is, that helps Cocoa Beach a tremendous
First of all,
amount.
you have a St. John Newman in here. You have a Cocoa Beach in here.
Right, you have a
You have
St.
a
John
Bader
Newman in
Lakes
here.
in here. So all three of them can really
Yeah.
mess up the other person's day, right? But yeah,
Absolutely.
Aquafreda is good enough. He's good enough to beat anybody at any given time when he's on. But it's going to be tough if he gets in there to Benito Bernhardt. That's going to be a great match to watch.
I agree. All right,
All right,
so
we did 26 and 32.
we've already done 26 and 32. Let's jump right to 138. And on the bottom side of the bracket, you have Merritt Islands and defending knockout champion Timmy Boda from Merritt Island.
Defending
It
state
does say
champion.
it does say 44 and 4. His four losses, as far as I know, have come at the Cheesehead and Ironman.
I was gonna
Uh,
say the cheeseburger, but yeah, you're right. Cheesehead.
Cheeseburger.
I'm hungry. We've been doing
He,
this for a
he
while.
he shares this the bottom side with Brock Dalen. Up top, we've got Christopher Green, Matter Lakes, who again, man, Green is super super tough. Adrian Day only lost to Boda by the narrowest margin.
He's battled
Well,
him
Um,
twice, 2 weeks in a row.
I think
and
both time they wrestled, it's been like that.
Yep.
he shares the top side. And my favorite or the quarter with Brady Jackson, Willie White, and Michael Rodriguez. So definitely, I could have picked 138 as a
Yeah.
weight to watch because it is a fantastic weight. Even though Boda appears to be a little bit ahead, it doesn't feel like it's a sure thing, man. Day is so close, and if Day is so close, that tells me the rest of the field is right there with it.
You know how
It just
much
depends.
if
I
you've
would
watched any of our podcasts, you know how much I love experience. And you've got five guys here that are two-time state placers. Four of them have been in a state finals. Everyone has finished at least third in one of those 2 years that they've placed. This is as tough a top lineup as you're going to find at a weight class like this in 1A. And I Boda has maybe stretched himself a little bit in front of everybody as a favorite. Dalin's only losses have been to Kroom 10-9, 12-5. Chris Green
Right.
has only had three losses. One of them's to Garcia, Southridge, one of the top picks in there. I mean, these guys have battled each other. They've battled some of the top guys in the state, and this one's good. It's one's tough. What are your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, I think on the bottom where I'm looking at the bottom, I definitely see where it's going to be tough to stop Dalen and Boda from getting to the semis. Um, and then, as you guys said on top, with Adrian Day in the top quarter there, um, obviously you have a Brady Jackson who has just absolutely wrestled a ton this year, right? Um, and this and that, and of course another Circa. But you've got, I definitely think the thing is with Adrian Day and Timmy Boda, if it ends up being them on the top there, I think the top is more questionable than the bottom. Um, but if it is Adrian Day and Timmy Boda in the finals, the thing is about those two is they live on the same coast. They wrestle every district, every region, every district duel, every region. They wrestle, they've been wrestling all the time since they were little kids. So they know each other so well, which makes it for close matches. A lot of times you see Timmy Boda go into other highly ranked kids and he ends up winning by a big margin, right? But like talking to a lot of coaches and other wrestlers, when you tend to have familiarity with somebody, you tend to start chipping away at him, right? And I think that's what we've seen from Adrian Day. He's been getting closer and getting closer and getting closer, and I think that's why you see those matches close enough. But I agree with you. I mean, if Brock Dalen was on the top of the podium at the end of all this, I wouldn't say wow. I mean, if any of
Right.
these guys we're talking about were at the top of the podium, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. There's so much firepower in this weight class.
Adrian Day, sophomore. This is his fourth appearance in the state tournament.
Well, I mean, like we've been talking about the seventh
Yep.
graders and everything else
That's
from
proof
earlier
right
weight.
there.
All right, so 144 and 1A, obviously down at the bottom, your number one ranked wrestler from St. John Newman, Lincoln Sledjanowski. Lincoln, we'll talk a little bit about him and his background and that sort of thing. He shares the bottom side with Landon Quiroga. Man, Landon has been all over the podium. Did he win? Did he win it once?
No, as a
No,
freshman,
he
he
took
finished.
second that
He
year.
reached the finals,
Yeah.
finished sixth and fourth, four-time region champ. Just happens to weigh a really tough weight
Yeah.
in the state of Florida each year.
Up top, you've got Bruce Lee from Matter Lakes. You've got Sterling Hollingsworth from Florida High. Um, you've got some really, really talented individuals throughout this bracket. There's going to be some really great first round matchups that occur in this bracket as well. But in my opinion, Lincoln is a big favorite. So
I would say one of maybe third or fourth biggest favorite in 1A, depending on where you put Peter. I mean, this is um, he's dominated this year. He's won tough matches. What were some of the matches you saw him pull off at Colby? He beat,
Oh, Jake
Austin.
Austin, fight
He beat
Solis,
two,
Solis. So he
and
beat
then
what, like
Solis in
six total
overtime.
state championships between two wrestlers, and he beat him in tight matches. Um, I think when he settled on 144, everybody knew, all right, well, that that's his weight, and I think he's
Look,
not, no one's a
my
sure thing, but he's pretty close in his weight class.
my favorite name in wrestling is Bruce Lee. Unless he becomes like water, my friend. Let
can be hard to
He's
pull off.
he's tough, and he's
Zalowski
wrestling
is.
healthy, which
Yeah.
is a better sign than last year. I know he came in a little banged up last year and only finished eighth. But yeah, one of the top guys in here, and he gets that top bracket, um,
Yep.
where there's a better chance of
Listen,
wrestling Saturday night
love
because you
him.
don't.
I love his dad. I love the name. You know me, I'm a Bruce Lee fan. But man, I feel
Yeah. Lincoln is for those of
Lincoln
you
is
that don't know, very quickly,
somebody.
Lincoln
This is a guy
uh
that's won Fargo, has been Fargo All-American,
yeah.
been Fargo champ, been everything champ, been number one in the country as a youth when he was younger. I mean, he's somebody that can we do like something like at the end of the state tournament? Can we put a big mat in the middle and have him and Solis wrestle again?
Yeah. All right,
Just-
moving to 150. We've got your number
I just
one.
want to, before we get off
Yeah.
144, I want to bring up Sterling Hollingsworth,
Okay.
Florida High senior. Uh, didn't miss weight or got hurt right before regions last year. He had been to state before. He
Hmm.
was a district champ last year. Really has come back this year with a vengeance to try it and really finish his senior year hard. And congrats on him on winning the region title, the first region title ever for Florida High, and he was a big part of that and big leader on that team.
Shout out to Florida High. I was talking about them this weekend. That's a team that, wow, they're coming up. They're bringing some kids. That
Yep.
program is growing.
Oh, they're doing exceptionally well. I watched them way back in like August at Deep South Duels up here in Birmingham, and I'll tell you what, they brought a ton of kids. They came to compete, and I was looking at it going, this seems going to be good. I
And
mean,
on the girl
I don't know how good, but they're going to be good.
and on the girls' side, you're starting to see kids coming out. You're starting to see, I mean, Jasmine Godinez, who was one of those girls that we saw at the boys' state tournament 2 years in a row, got a win her senior year at the boys' tournament. She's been up there on the coaching staff on the girls' side, and so we're going to start to see some fireworks coming out of there. I mean, in my opinion.
There we go.
And we moved
150.
to 150. Number one down on the bottom side, Matter Lakes, Mason Odell. Again, shares the same side of the bracket, which seems to be a recurring theme in
Hmm.
1A, which is a
Yeah.
little frustrating with Jacob Reber. There are, again, on the bottom side of the bracket, there are some outstanding first round matchups, man. Kinghorn, Leota, Thaxton, Sear, all really, really good matchups. Up top, you've got a really talented Howard Hill, St. John's Country Day, William Buckley, St. John Newman, um, Wyatt Krauser, who is back in the lineup for Cocoa Beach, who is ranked number three up top. Um, so it's gonna be a really good
Buckley
bracket.
Krauser as a possible quarterfinal match. How
That's
lovely is that for fans?
Yeah,
that
that's
is a
great.
wild one. Krauser, of course, state finalist last year, got hurt first week of the season, so we didn't get to see a lot of him this year. He's back.
But he's back, and that's
But
great.
he's back. But I think the thing to watch here is unfortunate. If you believe in my seeds or my rankings, only because having Odell and Reber in the semifinals. Now, that's not knocking Hill or Buckley or anyone else because I think those two could do some damage here. But Reber's had just a fantastic year for McKeel, and he's like right on the edge of being my pick here. Both he and Odell finished fifth last year. Of course, Odell won a state title. Was it back in 23?
Yeah, I think that's right.
as an eighth grader, but then he reclassified as an eighth grader, so he didn't wrestle last year or the year before last, and then last year as a freshman he placed fifth, same as Reber. But Reber's only losses this year are to Burgess twice by 2 points and Mincer out of Freedom. So he's wrestled tough. He's wrestled in that moment. Uh, could be a really exciting semifinal between those two.
And honestly, I mean, there's a lot of landmines at 150 in my opinion.
Yes,
So you just got to be really. I mean, we can look ahead to some potential matchups, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of kids in this weight who can really do
Leota
some damage and make a
Kinghorn
run.
is a landmine. Whoever wins that, Sear is a landmine. Nolan West, Ryan Winters, the winner of Winters and West, I think is a landmine in this one.
I agree. I
And
agree.
I think Buckley and Krauser are good enough to win it all. So to see them in the quarterfinals is fantastic for me as a fan. Maybe not for them as wrestlers, but for me as a fan, it's fantastic to watch. I think, going into this, it's hard to pick against Odell, but an Odell Reber semifinal would be lovely. But yeah, I agree with you. Noah Leota is a kid that, and Ty Kinghorn, whoever comes out of
Right.
that little
Right.
quarter, can really blow up the bracket.
Moving to 157, again, the recurring theme of one and two being on the same side of the bracket is a little frustrating. Gustavo Ferreira from Cocoa Beach, obviously state placer a year ago for what, Vieira, believe it
For
was.
Vieira, and then as a sophomore, he was a state placer for Heritage.
Right. He shares the same side of the bracket as Tiago Viana. Up top, we have Sterling Keefe, Kavion Williams, Titus DeYoung, really Jason Chiavello. Really, really good matchups on the top side of this
Hmm.
bracket, in my opinion. And then Terrence Hinson from Florida High, who, again, another Florida High wrestler. And how Hinson does is going to have a huge impact on how Florida High does.
Yeah, the thing to watch here is according to my rankings at least, Schiavello and Williams 3 versus 5. That's about as tight a first round match I think as you can get, as how I rank things, and for them to be meeting in that first round. Uh, Cavion Williams, a state qualifier a year ago. Schiavella has placed twice here, of course, on a
Mhm.
very small team that has seemingly been able to put together good wrestlers to go along with their four-timer from last year. Certainly one of the matches I think of the first round to watch is those two in the first round. But this weight class is for Gustavo Ferreira to lose. He is
I agree.
just wrestling out of his mind. I before his region in my region preview, I think I called him a monster on the mat. I mean, he's just really excelled this season. Two of his losses, the two losses in state, were to Blake and KJ. So I mean, he's wrestled tough against everybody. Um, I think he's found his footing at Cocoa
Mhm.
Beach. It's the right place for him for this year, and he
He's
just
looked great.
he to me he's not a huge favorite to make fun of that, but I'd say he's a solid favorite in this weight class. Certainly, there are guys here that can beat him, but they're going to have to wrestle out of their mind. I think if he comes in and continuing how he's been
They're
going
going to
this
have to
year,
wrestle their best match of their life.
yes, and it
Um,
can happen. It is possible.
can happen, yeah. I mean, one kid in this bracket, again, Caesar Aguilar sitting there on the bottom quarter. I think
Yes,
he's somebody that obviously coming out of that program where they know how to prepare and they watch tape and they really have their kids ready. I think he's somebody that could mess things up.
Well,
and
and
someone
and
who's
an
gotten better.
important and an important wrestler to. I mean,
Yes,
placement points are placement points, man. And if he can make the top eight, that is big for Matter Lakes.
I
Right.
had him ranked
Again,
20th going into last weekend, and he finished second in Region 4. I mean, that's a huge performance, and I mean, you know this as well as anyone having coached Jason. But when a team is doing well, rising tide can carry some, and
It can
certainly
raise raise all boats, no doubt.
yes, and so you'll see. You see guys like Aguilar and South Data's done this for decades.
They
there are
have.
guys where you don't expect that will rise up because everybody on their team is performing, and it just kind of that momentum carries over. And he certainly did that last weekend. Great
Well,
performance.
I think yeah, I think it gives you a little juice, but it also gives you a little bit of like, dude, everybody's gonna rag on me if like I'm the one who goes 0 and 2. Like, I
And
mean,
again, we have a St. John Newman, we have a Cocoa Beach, we have a Mater Lakes. I think the kid that has to wrestle
Merritt Island,
Ferrer in the
yeah.
first round, I think he's good enough to win a few matches and maybe get to a round where he can start to score. So that would be huge for him to be able to
Don't
do that.
don't sleep on Titus DeYoung, man. Up in the top
Love
quarters,
Titus
I'm
D. Young
telling you,
from Merritt
Yes.
I
Island.
think he can make a
I
run all
love
the way to the
him.
Highest
finals.
returning placer in this group. He placed fourth
Titus
last year.
DeYoung on the top half could definitely. Would it surprise me if he's in the finals? Absolutely not. Great young man, but I've just watched Ferrer wrestle a lot this year, and I've
Yeah.
seen him wrestle at tournaments like the Knockout. I've seen him wrestle at tournaments like uh, Braves Invitational, I think it was. I've seen him wrestle, and I've seen him wrestle kids from
I'm gonna
Southwest
say
and
saw him at
South
state
Bend
duels.
and South Ridge, and he's been wrestling some of the best in the state, and he just looks like he's right now on another level. And like I agree with you, Brant.
Jumping to 165. Uh, I don't know, a kid that, I don't have favorite kids or anything along those lines, but I'm a big fan of Calais Nazario. Matter Lakes, he's just a really, I see him lots of different places, Elite Eight, lots, we have conversations and that sort of thing. He comes in unbeaten. He is ranked number one. He's on the top side with uh, going to be some absolutely great matches up top. I'm
In the
telling
first
you,
round. Yeah.
Chauncey Mills. These are top 10 matchups according to Brandt. I'm sure you'll talk about them in greater detail. And we've got Sam Madden up there on the top line. On the bottom side, you got Aaron Hoare from Cocoa Beach, who's your number two. Fair from Cardinal Gibbons sitting in the same quarter. Chen from Pinecrest. If you don't know, Andrew Chen, younger brother of the other Chen who was in the state finals, I believe, a year ago or 2 years ago. And then Randy Wallace down on the bottom side. Again, this is evenly spread out. I think there's some absolutely fantastic first round matchups at 165, but Nazario is is a stud.
I think
Yeah,
this is one of those brackets where you can pretty much say it's his.
But let me tell you what I like about this bracket because I agree with you. I think he is one of those really good favorites. You look at the bottom, and if you like my rankings, number two, number three, number four, number five are down there. Of course,
that's
so are
right.
number 12, 13, 14, and 15. It's crazy how it worked out that way. But you could see two versus four, three versus five in the quarters. They play in the semis, or they'll meet in the semis. Those one of those wrestlers will have earned their spot in that final. I don't see Calais getting beat, um,
They don't have the
but
horsepower.
it'll be a fun tournament to see who
When,
makes it
when
down there, and then who makes it out of that top where they're also high. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all in those three. Those three opening round matches, they're going to be battling out, and who comes out of that is who's going to be on the podium. So lots to watch here. Don't think it's all about just who wins the state title. Lots to watch in this bracket
I
beyond that.
agree. Dan,
yeah, beyond that, but yeah, if that car is running on all cylinders, I don't see anybody putting a stop to it.
yeah, but I agree. I do agree. I think that there's so many actually
Some great look.
really tight matches.
Such a fun bracket.
Aaron Hoare is somebody that when he is wrestling at the top of his game, he is hard to beat. And obviously Chen, all these guys. But I just when
I,
Calais gets the wheels going,
and I,
Darcy has
and
seen it.
how big would that be for Cocoa Beach if he's able to get himself to the finals? So,
Yes.
Huge, huge,
all
huge.
right, 175. We've already talked
Yeah.
about the chaos that is 175. If you didn't hear it earlier, it was earlier in the show. We moved to 190, where up top, your number one, Calvin Ross, shares this top side of the bracket with Aaron McCarty. The bottom side, Trey Driggett from Merida Island, is down there with an absolutely great first round match.
Unbelievable first round match.
Right. And Keon Bliss and Darian Vargas. I don't know how that occurred. I have not actually looked at the results from that to see that Bliss.
Bliss was in a loaded region that included Driggett, Pond, and Fickett,
Oh,
a very hardly fought region, and ended up in fourth place there, which is not a bad place to
Which
finish
over the
fourth
last two
behind that
years,
group.
over the last 2 years, with all the adjustments that were made, some would say the toughest, becoming one of the toughest in the states.
Yeah,
That region that he just came out of.
well,
certainly this, and
and
certainly
look
this
at it.
weight class.
I mean, you've got Driggett, you've got Pond, who we've already talked about, and then you got Fickett. I mean that's and those are going to be some great matches as well. But I'll tell you what, yeah, Brant, take it away.
I mean, whew, where do you start on this? I mean, Calvin Ross, I think out of Wiwa Hitchka, has been steady where he is. We haven't seen him anywhere. He finished fourth last year at 215. He's now down wrestling at 190. Uh, Driggett, if you follow anything, he's a state placer and he's also internet famous for his
Is he?
amazing fall at Fargo this
Oh,
year.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
one of the most watched videos I think of all
I was gonna
time
say, you don't remember
for
that?
wrestling.
I did. I do. I do. I do. I do.
But
In
he
Fargo,
gets
right? Was that Fargo?
Yeah, is that Fargo?
Yeah.
He gets to be on the bottom here, which it's tougher. You have Washington from Chamberlain, and as we mentioned, Bliss and Vargas. But the top of this bracket, where you have Aaron McCarty, who is good enough to win this tournament, uh,
Pond,
as a
man.
region champ on the bottom half of the top bracket. Pond, who just beat Fickett at the region tournament. Both of them uh, are good enough to win the tournament here, and they're all there in that quarterfinal round joining Ross. I think that it's the harder road to get there. Um, but I think I feel Driggett's going to keep performing well and keep showing us something. We'll see what he can do here, and I'm curious again to see just how good Ross is since we haven't seen him as much as we've seen the other wrestlers
I
this
would
year.
agree with you.
I can't get over how good Bliss versus Vargas is as a first round
It's
matchup.
crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Driggins in a side. The bottom side is very, very winnable for him. Uh,
Yes.
the top side is a mess. The bottom side is very winnable for him. Uh, I put the dog's ball in the drawer here because he keeps squeaking it while on the show. So now he's figured out the back of the drawer. So he's taking his nose and he's pushing the back of the drawer. So the drawer pops open and then I have to close it. Uh, that's what's happening. So I'm going to take the ball one, the dog zero right now. And that's my pick. Oh,
And Dan is -1.
Dana's -1.
All
Well,
right, jumping to
we could all.
215. Jumping to 215 on the bottom line is your unbeaten returning state runner up, Peter Mocco from
Yep.
Cardinal Gibbons. If you don't remember the DQ that occurred last year in the state finals against Soto, on the top line, you got Bearden from the Bowl School. Seems the Bowl School just produces 215 hammers. Recently, Bearden is the latest and is super, super tough. I don't know if he's good enough to beat Peter Mako, but he is definitely talented. You've got sharing the top side with Bearden is a number of different individuals. Number 4, Rhymes. Number 9, Zayd Moore. Then you've got a really good opening round matchup with Mangum and Rowland. Rowland, how do you say it?
Rowland,
Rowland. On the bottom side,
who
sharing the
who
bottom
we
side
should
with
point
Mike.
out
Who
when
is
we can
undefeated?
is not undefeated. He is not undefeated.
Oh, okay.
Freedom McDaniel beat him in sudden victory
Ooh.
from Braden River.
Well, and that's a good note because Freedom McDaniel
Is very good wrestler and
is
he
really
wrestles really tight.
good. So
But he's not undefeated. Just wanted to clear that up.
you've got down at the bottom side with sharing the bottom side with Mako is Conta Giacomo. Uh, I think that's how you say it. Cody Johnson and Blake Bardot Bardet Bardot
Barat.
Barat from McCullough, who we have also seen a number of different places and compete. And you know what? Thing you need to keep in mind, Wakulla has done a really good job of seeking out the best competition you can find. So just because he has 14 losses on the year does
Yeah.
not tell you that he's not as good as advertised, because they
Yeah,
will
I would say
seek
some
out
of
the
those losses
best.
are Marrero from South Day, Dam from West Boca, Bowie from Sandalwood, Peter Mako, uh,
Yep.
Perez from Matter Lakes. I mean, so there's he wrestles some top guys. A lot of those losses, that's where they came from.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll go
Not
out
all
on
records are
a
created equal.
I'll
Yes,
go out on a limb here and I'll take Peter Mako first to field.
yeah, that's a safe bet.
I think so too. What about the top side though?
We don't have to do the next weight because we can just
No, we're totally
No, we're
doing the
gonna do
next
that
weight.
one.
What
I
what
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 about the
intrigues me
top
is
side though?
Bearden and Rhymes. These are now Bearden finished third in the state last year, but Rhymes is one of only five wrestlers here with state tournament experience. He was here last year. Um, has a couple good wins. He's beat Romero from or no, that's not him. Rhymes has beaten um Cantu from Hialeah Gardens, Mancini from South Plantation. Uh, so he has some wins, but he has the experience here. I'm curious to see how he does against a Bearden in that, and then also Mangum coming back, scored in his in his blood round match, scored a 7 point throw in the closing seconds to come from behind and win that match, and then eventually make it to
Ah,
to
that's
to this
crazy.
to the state tournament. He was down, and now I mean I don't know when the move started, but with 2 seconds left, they scored his 7 points, and he got the win to make it to through the blood round. And I'm curious how he'll match up against a Rowland.
Up at 285.
yeah, I'll go first. Michael Mako is going to win it.
So I want to start by Flo showed Rashawn Ross, the number one heavyweight in the country this past weekend, on his way to his fourth state title in the state of Iowa. Ross simply looked like he was like playing
Yeah.
like a lion playing with a mouse. I mean, it really was just unbelievable how much better he was than everyone else in the field. He just hits moves that heavyweights don't usually hit, that you don't normally see, and that is Michael Mako. Like
Hmm.
Mako and Cody Merrill, and I think it's Cody. Trying to remember which Merrill it is, and Rashawn Ross are the three best 285s in the country. They are three of the best 285s that I've seen in a long time coming out of high school. They are
First of all, they're
absolutely
three of the best in
fantastic.
the world.
Yes.
I mean,
Um,
they're not just like they're high school state good.
no, no, right, right, right. Um, so we're gonna obviously it would be a shock the world moment. It really would be to see anyone other than Mako win 285.
There's
That's
no
that's a
Loud and Swain in this bracket.
that is a statement that is
Yes.
There's
100% real.
no Captain America from last year's NCAAs.
But yeah, right. Well, and that was a shock the world moment, right? I mean, Hendrickson beating Stevenson was a shock the world moment. And so it does happen. It does happen. Um, that said,
There's
let's
no
talk about a
Hendrickson in
couple
this.
other names in the
There's no
bracket because they
there's no
deserve,
Hendrickson in this bracket.
I don't think so. They deserve to be considered, or they deserve some conversation. Up
Look, they're
top, you've
all
got Holden
great. They're
Corbin.
all phenomenal. We have heavyweights in here that are fantastic
That's
wrestlers.
right.
They just happen to be in the era of Michael Mako.
That's right. Number two, for Swanee, Holden Corbin, senior. Swanee produces some great heavyweights up there. Down, you've got a midway through the bracket. Well, Lennox Washington, obviously exceptionally good. Lovelace, you got in there. Allen's from Key West. At least I think that's how you say his name. Cardwell, you got Tice Cole in the bracket as well. You've got some really talented heavyweights. You don't hand out trophies before the or medals before the tournament begins. But if there is no bigger favorite in the building
No,
in any classification than Michael Mako, in my opinion.
that is correct.
I would say
Dan,
that
Dan, if you called him a huge favorite, it wouldn't be a big enough
I can choose that. I can
A
call
big
that
enough
one my least
adjective.
favorite.
There is stuff to watch here, and it's one of those things where I wish Cole was
Everything
on the
else.
top two, where you have number two, four, five, seven, and eight in my rankings. I'd like to see him have a chance to battle for that final spot. Corbin has had a very solid year.
He has.
Um, but he's got some losses in there, so that he's beatable. I mean, everybody in this weight class is beatable except one. So I don't know how the podium will end up.
Listen,
Um,
Tice Cole is tremendous,
he's a very good wrestler,
but we're
and
dealing
he
with
gets to
another
come back
level
next
here.
year. His only loss this year was to Brandon Jimenez. He lost 4-2. He has a win over Lovelace. I guess two wins now. Um,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
very very competent heavyweight there in
this
that
guy
bottom half of the bracket.
he's been a world champ. He's been multiple time Fargo champ. He's been multiple time state champ. He's been multiple time lots of things champ, right? And he's coming in here. Uh, yeah, I would agree in the building. If you were to bet your house on one person, that would be the one person you would put your house up for.
No doubt. No doubt.
Um,
And
And savor it, guys. We always
that's right.
the you have a chance to see this weekend one of the best wrestlers. You could argue the best wrestler the state has produced at the high school level, and you get to see him wrestle right in front of you uh, one more time, and make sure you stick around and appreciate that. And
You should.
that's something you can tell your kids someday.
That's
Like,
right.
man, I
Because
saw
one
that guy
day
wrestle in
he
high
might win
school.
an NCAA title. I
Yeah,
mean,
you'd be like, I saw that guy wrestle in high school. He,
like, he's a guy that may win the Olympics at one point.
that's
yeah.
right. That is
So,
right.
so this
Enjoy
is
it. And
somebody.
I know he may not be out there long, but make sure you enjoy every minute he spends out on the
Enjoy
mat
the
this weekend.
last foot sweep you see in person.
Yes.
And I mean, how blessed have we been over the last 5 or 6 years to get to see Steve Mocco coaching his boys in our state at our big
We got a
tournament.
couple more years of that, but last one with Michael.
Yes, last one, but what I'm saying is how lucky are
Oh
we to
yeah.
get to see that? And by the way, they have a young lady coming up that's been kicking some arse, as I say.
You
We're
say
gonna
arse? Wow.
No, he doesn't say that.
I say ass,
Would you like to have
kicking
a bit of
ass.
tea when we're done with this?
Yeah, kicking ass. But she's going to be somebody that we are going to see for many years to come as well. So, yeah, watch that because we're seeing one of those kids that may make history in wrestling, period.
Daniel, we have just a couple of minutes left, so I want you to give me one headline from 1A after we've now talked about it. What is something that your average person who doesn't know, what do they need to know about 1A?
You get to see at the lower weights, you get to see kids to keep an eye on because there's going to be a handful of those kids that become some of the best wrestlers, not just in our state, but in our country. And you're going to see them possibly in 2A and 3A as they grow up, because a lot of them are at a middle school program or a program that you can wrestle for, and then they move on to their home school, which could possibly be a 2A school or a 3A school. Keep an eye on those kids and follow them because 1A tends to produce the future we see as they get into the bigger weights and the bigger schools.
Very cool. Brant?
My headline would be Chaos Reigns, sticker supply low for Cowboy Wrestling.
What's your saying about getting to the dance?
Hey, if you get to the dance, you have a chance. Or if you have a chance, or you get to the dance, I don't remember what it
Dance,
was.
you
We
have a
need to make a
chance.
t-shirt
If
out of
you
it.
get to the dance, you have a
Good
chance,
chance.
no doubt.
Yep.
It's gonna be a fun tournament, and worth again watching the placing rounds and everything else. Don't just focus on the finals because there's as Dan said, there's some kids here that may not be in the finals that are gonna be wrestling third or fourth that you're gonna be watching in the finals uh, when they get to that high school level in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, like the last thing I will say is this is we harped on it with Michael Mako, but there are some really talented individuals in this bracket that you will see at the next level and beyond.
Yes,
And this is an opportunity. You should take it. Watch them
enjoy it.
all compete because You don't get very many opportunities to watch that level of like that level of wrestlers compete at the high school state tournament.
And again, as I will say at the end of each one of these previews, please show up to the podium if you lost your final match. There's nothing worse. You're going to look back on it and you're going to regret it. So, parents, please encourage the kids, even if you feel like it was a bad call or you feel like he got screwed or you feel like whatever happened. I know your kid is upset, he's disappointed, but you're going to look back and want that photo. Or you're going to end up calling me 3 days later and be like, can you Photoshop my kid in? Let's not go through that. Let's
We
make sure.
want to wish everyone the best of luck.
Yes.
Grant will drop his previews hopefully Tuesday evening. I'm not sure
Good
when I'm
idea.
dropping mine. Dan is around for taking pictures, doing ticket punches, all the different things. We will. I may not see you guys in Kissimmee, but they will be in Kissimmee. I'm hoping to be there. And yeah, best of luck to everybody, man.
See you. Can I buy you a plane ticket to get there faster on Friday?
I think we'll talk later. I gotta go.
All right.
Peace.
See ya. Let me find my cursor.
Find your